Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Commissar here, and today I've got a StarCraft 2 game for you, featuring Liquid's hero, our blue Protoss player, spawning in the bottom right hand side of the map today, and his opponent is none other than TSL Team SCV Life's Hyun. He is our Red Soak player, spawning in the top left hand side of the map today. So of course you'll be wondering why I haven't been casting much at all for about a month or so. Basically I don't seem to have much time to cast super regularly. That's not really going to change anytime in the foreseeable future, I've decided. Really, considering how busy I am, it's a bit too difficult for me to be able to cast regularly at the moment. I'm just doing it occasionally because I still enjoy it and I still think it's a fun thing to do, and if anyone else enjoys it, then maybe if I start to make more of a success of it, I'll be able to find more time for it. But yeah, at the moment, I rate it about as highly as, say, playing computer games, which for me, I don't want to make too much time for, because I'm, yeah, like I said, a bit busy. Anyway, so today's game is just from a Team Liquid, replay pack. Features a whole bunch of wins and losses from Hero, so don't think that any results are spoiled or anything. Yeah, but it'll be pretty cool. The reason I decided to cast today was because usually I can spend maybe an hour or so even looking for a replay, and I cannot find it in that time. That is a problem with casting. And basically today I saw, okay, new hero replay back out, let's just cast something because it's there, it's high quality, and I can. Okay, so anyway, these two players, introducing them a little bit, in terms of recent results. Liquid Hero, of course, our Team Liquid player who I'm sure everybody has heard of many times, recently won the IPL Fight Club. That was about 3 weeks ago, so I'm sure everyone's heard of it who cares by now. But yeah, he beat Don Regu 4-2 in an extended series, I believe, to take out a $5,000 cash prize, which he took home with him and would have been very happy about, and so should he have been. He is getting a Nexus First Forge Fast Expand this game, which will be very safe. As while Hyun has been forced to take his third base first, he will be on a quick 3 bases, and therefore unlikely but not impossible for him to be pressuring this second base very quickly. Okay, Hyun on the other hand, famous for coming over from Brood War, not a particularly distinguished Brood War player in his day, but nonetheless, Starcraft 2 he's making a decent impact. No major tournament results yet, but at the same time he's won a whole ton of online cups, and he's actually won probably a couple of thousand euros, I think, mostly by now is what he's getting paid in. And yeah, he's doing quite well for himself in terms of winning weekly online cups, things like Zotac cups, poker tournament ones, basically 100 to 200 euro dollar prize pools, that sort of thing. Here we will see two Zerglings actually get into the base of Hero, and this could be potentially dangerous as of course Hero does not have anything to defend. Nothing too major going to be caused, but it can cause a lot of delayed mining, a lot of guys being pulled off the mineral line to deal with these two Zerglings, as while they can't do very much in terms of killing stuff in a straight up battle, they can cause a lot of units to be pulled, as we're seeing right now. And yeah, Hyun also gets to see everything inside the base of Hero, which is not exciting at the moment, nothing too much to be seen. But it is it's just a bit of reassurance to know that nothing super scary is coming his way right now, nor would it be in 99% of games, but you never know. Well, unless you're Hyun right now, in which case you definitely do know, which was my point. So here we do see Hero rallying to his expansion rather than transferring. A lot of players love to do that, especially if they have 16 workers on minerals, and I believe he does have that. Yep, exactly 16, the perfect number on minerals for optimal saturation. Rallying to your natural is very common. Desro loves to do this, a ton of players love to do this. And yeah, it's basically more fashionable it seems than transferring, which is the old-fashioned way of doing things. It's not a big deal. Okay, so 3 bases up for Hyun, gonna have to work away at those rocks and get that creep spread to that third base very soon, because at the moment it is a very exposed third base. Easy to get to 3 bases, yes, as a Zerg on this map, but only if you link your third base with creep through those rocks. And otherwise, gateway timings can be a pain in the ass. They can kill you over and over again. And yeah, as a Protoss player, I'm quite happy to be able to have that option available to me. And trust me, considering how horrible I am against Broodlords and Infestors, I do that a lot. So anyway, looking at the Hero's base at the moment. We do see his gas geysers going down, as is typical of a Protoss player to get your basically 3rd and 4th gas geysers pretty much as soon as you start to saturate your new bases whenever you build them, more so than for any other race really. Then we do see our flying space shark in the middle of the map, and meanwhile 2 zealots going to be taking on a few zerglings. The lings of course will probably run away, and yet not a single one will die. Okay, so nice overlord positioning over here by Hyun, going to be great for scouting later on in the game when he does decide to move that overlord around to do some scouting with it. Same goes for this overlord down here, again hard to kill, great spot for scouting later on in the game. Interesting to note, Hero is actually missing a worker on this gas geyser, might want to fix that up quickly or he will be in a bit of trouble, and meanwhile everything looks fine from his perspective. We see what? A whole bunch of gateways coming down, so probably going to be going for some sort of 2-base timing, as this is the PvZ matchup. +1 is on the way. A Robo is on the way, so possibly maybe some... well, he's getting a Warp Prism, so basically it seems fairly obvious that it's going to be some play involving a Warp Prism. Fun things to do with that are things like, say, sentries into the main and trying to force field the ramp. That could well be what he's going for. That is very, very high risk, because of course if you do not get your force fields off, if you can't get into that main at the right time, it just sucks. So it is a very high risk strategy to do that, but it is a very, very fun thing to watch nonetheless, so I'm happy to see it on my first game casting in a long, long time. Okay, so an Observer coming out now, so no early Immortals. The +1 should be done for this attack, and it will only be a 4 gateway push though, so of course it's nothing like an all-in, doesn't even resemble that in the slightest, and it's really not any sort of significant 2-base timing in that it's not all-in as is typical of the 2-base timings of a Protoss player. Okay, so we do see these rocks are going to go down, perhaps a little bit late, really, to be honest, but it's not going to be too much of a big deal, as the main is the big deal here, and a few units are here for Hyun, and there you go, like I said, if you cannot get those units off in the main, this strategy can fail really, really badly, and he is going to get one force field that misses off. But in the meantime, this Warp Prism will be made completely useless by these lings. The Observer, though, will get a complete scout of the base of his opponent, and it looks like Hero will be able to get a few ling kills. The proxy spawn, though, has been scouted, although with a Warp Prism, it's not too horrible to have your proxy scouted, as you can warp in wherever you like. Hyun going for a big amount of pressure here. As a Brood War player, he does like to rally units out across the map, but when he does do these big pushes, we'll have to wait and see if he does go for a massive attack or just decides to basically poke. He is producing tons of lings and roaches, getting +1 attack for his roaches here, and these sentries are going to do a bit of damage, but sentries of course have horrible DPS, and none are going to die, thanks to that nice pickup by Hero. So of course, Hero is doing a great job, not of doing damage to Hyun, but basically preventing Hyun, well, delaying his attack for a little bit there. Of course, his pressure allowed him to get out an extra, well, get out to 3 Immortals, and 3 Immortals, that's the money number, because at 3 Immortals, I believe you 3-shot, yes you do 3-shot roaches. Basically, it means you focus fire roaches with your Immortals, and they all die really, really fast. So I think that our Hero should be just fine here, or this base may be forced to cancel. Even so, he should get a bunch of kills for his army, and here comes the big engagement. The force fields are not the best. Zealots are being attacked, but it's okay if Zealots tank damage, though. One Immortal is going to go down, it looks like, straight away. A second Immortal is going to go down as well, straight away as well. And oh my god, Hyun could just end the game right here, as Hero is on his last legs here. So few units left alive, and Hero, unlike I said, is actually dying straight away here. Unfortunately for him, Sentry Immortal relies on closed spaces, and by charging down that ramp, he was stuffed. Of course, staying up in his base, he would be okay, and he may be able to stabilize here. He does have 1 Immortal out on the field, he does have a bunch of sentries, and sentries are all that can save him right now, because otherwise he is stuffed, and though the sentry goes down, no force fields left, and he is in a lot of trouble, but it looks like he is going to actually survive for the time being, though Hyun, being a Brood War player, is rallying his units across the map, and this Nexus will probably be cancelled, maybe finished. There's the cancel! And it looks like another Immortal going to fall. Blink is up, but it's too little, too late, and Hyun able to take out that game really, really quickly, and surprisingly easily. I didn't watch that Warp Prism, wherever that went, during that whole engagement. The Warp Prism is still alive somewhere on the map. I am still not aware of where it is. That's possibly going to remain a mystery. Did any workers die? No. None of Hyun's workers did die, so yeah, you can assume no big harassment went on during that, so I didn't really miss anything, I believe. So of course, I said that Hero would be fine holding that. Why would I say that? Well, I'm just going to show you, well, I'm not going to show you, but if you look back, you can see he could defend a ramp all day long. But of course, taking the third would have been really, really good for him, and he was just way out of position to defend that third base. Really needed a bit more time to build up defenses, and that's the problem with going for, say, that sentry play. It wasn't all in at all, like it wasn't even close to it. But at the same time, it delays the immortal count. I mean, you get the Warp Prism, which otherwise it wouldn't get. He still hasn't done any damage to a 3-base Zerg player, 0 economic damage all game long being done. Because he's not doing a big push, it means that he's not causing any significant damage if this push doesn't even unload, as it didn't do. So really, Hero just basically let Hyun build up and go kill him. And that's the problem with those sorts of fancy builds, but of course they are fun to watch, and hopefully Hero can actually take some games off Hyun, because I do have a couple more games heading your way between these two players.